Welcome back, dear listeners, dear yogis, and guests of my channel. I'm Lisa Grail. Today is my body's somewhat birthday, and the best gift for me is always grateful people. And my state, natural high state, which only deepens and unpacks more layers of my real potential. Today's topic is the 3 levels of self-awareness. I made it as simple for understanding as I could, without vague spiritual terms. If you perceive what I'm saying, analyzing your path, you will realize everything about your life. That's simple. Before we step into the levels of self-awareness, let me remind you of something most people never question. This reality is not as real as it seems. What you see, hear, and touch is not the world itself, but your consciousness interpreting frequencies with our bodily senses, our avatar. Quantum physics has already whispered this truth. The observer changes the observed. Matter itself behaves differently depending on who is looking, who is perceiving, which means life is not fixed, it's not solid, it's not absolute. It's a projection, a kind of dream, designed and filtered through the lens of your awareness. And here is the shocking part. Most of us are trapped inside the illusion without even realizing it. We think we are reacting to a world out there, but in fact, the world we meet is our own consciousness reflected back at us. So when we talk about awakening, about shifting awareness, it's not just psychology. It's about changing the very structure of a dream you call reality. Today I want to take you on a journey into the deepest layers of self-awareness. We will explore 3 stages, 3 very different ways of experiencing life. First, the character in the play, in the movie. Second, the observer of a play. And the third, the creator of a play. Maybe you will recognize yourself in one of these stages. Maybe you will feel that you're moving through them, spiraling back and forth. And that is completely natural. Awareness is not a straight staircase, but a dance, or merry-go-round. So the stage 1, the character in the play. We all are starting from this point. In this first level, we are completely identified with our roles. We are someone's daughter, son, mother, father, worker, boss. We are a good person or a bad person, a success or a failure. Train wreck, as they say in America. New vocabulary appears more and more. At this stage, society, family, lineage, and cultural programs tell us who we are. We are full of emotions. We celebrate. We are excited. We are happy. And on an opposite side of the coin, despaired. We fall in love. We suffer. Every external event shakes us, lifts us up, or throws us down. We pray to gods, we follow rituals, we try to attract good luck and avoid bad fortune. But deep down, we feel like victims of circumstances. Life is happening to us. I call it 3D. Example, imagine a young woman who works in an office. She feels pressure to succeed because her parents sacrificed so much for her. She also feels pressure to be a perfect partner, maybe later a perfect mother. Every mistake brings guilt. Every compliment brings pride. If her boss shouts at her, her entire week is ruined. If her partner says, "I love you," she feels on top of the world. This stage is colorful, so many highs and lows. And people like to say, this life is to experience all sorts of emotions in the world. Yes, it's true. At this stage is absolutely true. But unfortunately, it is an unstable way to live your life, because when our sense of self depends on the outside world, we are always at risk of collapse. We have very fragile self-esteem, which is dependent on the opinion of other people about us. Stage 2. The observer. One day something shifts. Maybe after a crisis, maybe through meditation or a sudden realization, a grace. we begin to watch ourselves. We see, oh, I reacted with anger because I felt unworthy. Or I am sad not because of the event, but because of the meaning I gave it. It was too important for me. At this stage, we discover the power of presence. We learn to stay here and now and observe. The witness appears inside our consciousness. The unnecessary falls away. Toxic relationships, fake obligations, distractions, we start cutting them out. The mind becomes more spacious. Sometimes it even feels like a vacuum, silent and still. We touch high states of meditation. They come and go. Some even enter samadhi experience, the blissful union with all. But here lies a trap. If old wounds and programs are not fully seen, then after awakening, after touching the Absolute, we can fall back into victimhood. We start chasing the memory of that perfect state. Or worse, a spiritual ego is born. I am more awakened than others. I am Guru. Listen to me. I am beyond this world. This can lead to isolation. We stop connecting with people. We neglect the body. Life loses meaning because we reject the human experience. And so-called many gurus who say that I'm not the body, I neither was born, neither dead. Yes, they connected with Absolute, but at the same time, they completely neglect the body, and usually body dies of cancer very often. You can read about the biography of many Indian gurus who were just sitting in presence all the time. It was their choice, right? This very high level of consciousness, but at the same time, do you really want it? Example, imagine a man who had a powerful meditation retreat, Vipassana. He felt himself dissolve into the universe. He connected with Absolute. For weeks, he walked in bliss. But slowly, old fears came back. Bills to pay, family conflicts. He did not know how to live between those two realities, the Absolute and the everyday. It's the hardest stage of awakening. Looking back, I can say this absolutely true. I'm like in between the worlds. So, this man from the example withdrew. He said, the world is an illusion. But deep down, he was struggling. The key at this stage is gentleness. We must learn to integrate, to keep observing without escaping, to see life not as a prison, but as a training ground. Stage 3, the creator. And then something even deeper awakens. We realize I'm not just the observer of the play. I'm the director, the creator of it. At this level, consciousness is stable, expanded, stable, natural, high presence. We live in this presence, but also in action. We feel the desires of our soul, not from ego, not from trauma, but from the essence of who we are. We know I'm not a victim, I'm not even just a witness. I'm the source that shapes reality. Here, fear disappears. Life still tests us. The world can still try to scare us. But there is always a deeper knowing. This is my creation. This is my world. My consciousness chooses to place me here, in this body, in this concrete moment and experience. So you trust and surrender each second of your life, and you see duality. Duality never goes away. It's a part of a game, but you do not react on this duality anymore. Example, imagine you were dreaming about something all your life, and this desire, this dream, was trapped inside the limitations of your, let's say, small ego, barking dog mind, like in the cage. But once you awaken, there are no self-insecurities, inferiority complexes anymore, no barriers in your head. So you just go in presence, you observe everything like a movie, and at the same time, your body makes some concrete actions, maybe contacting people, maybe performing on stage, maybe moving to another country. And looking back, you understand that all your worries, all your fears were just illusions, were just thoughts, which were not even part of you. At this stage, there is no tension, no inner war. Life flows. We don't have judgments as good or bad. We stop judging people and complaining on them. We are focused on all our tiny reality, our own kingdom, and enjoying our life to the fullest. And desires that come from the heart, not from the ego, manifest naturally and quickly. In the book Reality Transurfing, Vadim Zeland doesn't explain this difference. Unfortunately, many people trying to manifest, visualize out of ego mind, and they cannot avoid excess potential that author of the book tried to explain, because ego mind will always have self-importance and inferiority. So here we are. At the first level, we are characters, playing roles, tossed around by emotions. At the second level, we are observers, learning to see cause and effect, karma, touching silence, but also facing traps of isolation or spiritual pride. At the third level, we are creators, stable in presence, aligned with soul, choosing reality itself, and we're going out of the karma. And again, the most important truth we need to face before we step into the role of the creator. If we do not transcend the suffering ego, we cannot truly create. Or more precisely, we will still create, but our creations will be distorted. Why? Because the ego, wounded, insecure, still attached to the past, will always filter our desires. Instead of pure soul expression, we manifest through fear, pride, guilt, or self-importance. Let's think about it in examples. It will be easier to understand. If I still carry deep feelings of unworthiness, my creations may be desperate attempts to prove myself. If I'm full of pride, I may build things just to feel superior to others. If guilt dominates me, I might sabotage my own manifestations, punishing myself unconsciously. If fear rules, I will create only walls, protections, and restrictions. On the outside, it may look like success, but inside it will feel hollow, because the source of creation was not the soul, but the wounded self. Imagine someone who wants to start a business. If their drive comes from ego, I'll show everyone I'm not a loser. Then even if money comes, the inner emptiness stays. Or worse, they become trapped in endless competition, never at peace. And there will be a lot of self-destruction, a lot of bad habits, or another perversions. This is why transcending suffering is not optional, it's the gate. Only when we have faced our shadows, healed the programs, and dissolved the grip of ego, can creation become pure. Then we create not out of lack, but out of fullness, not out of fear, but out of love. Another example, very important for people who are moving towards life without food, the same here. No ego, no achievements here, no comparison to other people's lifestyle. Only through understanding what is good for your body, good for your lifetime, right now, what is not. No austerities and torturing yourself. It's very important. There will be huge collapse and rollback, and maybe even body damage. So this state of not eating, not sleeping, comes only when we are a creator. We create even materia, we shape even our body. That's why rejuvenation, longevity, which I was talking about lately on my channel, become reality. From 3D mind, when we are victim, we cannot manifest our appearance, our events properly. We can only harm ourselves. So, in my opinion, we should start working with psyche. First of all, spiritual awakening should happen. And then gradually we change in all our aspects. We change our lifestyle, we change our beliefs, our circumstances, we even change sometimes activity and so on. And this is very important. Unfortunately, many people are just obsessed with some idea, also from ego mind, and they pull in others into this game of the mind again and again. So be very mindful and attentive here. All spiritual path is very delicate and personal, moving from the observer who sees and releases to the true creator who manifests from clarity. Without this step, we remain trapped, powerful perhaps, but misaligned. As a conclusion, I want to state, none of these stages are bad. They are all part of the evolution of awareness and the game we all, as a part of one, playing here. We may circle back, revisit old lessons, but my ultimate invitation is this: to live as a creator, to know deeply that you are not separate from life, but the source of it, that your consciousness through this body is shaping reality right now, moment by moment. And when you live this way, fear dissolves, meaning returns, and life becomes not a burden but a masterpiece. Thank you for walking this journey with me today and all these 5 years. If this message resonated with you and you feel called to go deeper, I invite you to join my Telegram channel. There I shared on education the most effective techniques for spiritual awakening, practical tools to expand awareness, and clear model of how to work with the hidden programs of the mind, how to reprogram yourself. All contacts are pinned in the comments or in the description of this video. Remember, you are not just living inside the play of life. You are the creator of it. Until next time, stay true and kind. The rest things never mind. Sat Nam.